Hi everyone, welcome to your week 7 video. I just want to apologize up front. This video will be a little bit longer because there's a lot to get through. So this week you're going to be creating your own original video to add to the playlist that you created for MTA number 5 during week 6 last week. So first and foremost, here's your week 7 checklist. If you're watching this video right now, you should have already read the copyright and open licensing chapter. So if you haven't done that, please just pause this video and read it right now. This week there are a lot of optional readings and videos for you to use as tutorials when you make your own video. And the tutorials that you choose are going to be dependent on the software you choose to use for the project. So just know you're not going to be having to look at all of these, but they're there for you just in case you need them. Additionally, you're going to have a discussion post due on Wednesday by 11:59 p.m. and responses on Sunday by 11:59 p.m. And MTA number 6 is due on Sunday by 11:59 p.m. All right, so I'm going to start with the copyright and open licensing chapter, and there are a few really important ideas from this chapter that are going to be important this week, next week, and potentially in future weeks. So copyrighted materials include things like books, movies, music, stories, poetry, software, and a lot of other things. So copyrighted materials do not need to be registered for them to be protected by copyright law. That said, those that are registered have kind of a safeguard against infringement. So many people think that the copyright symbol is really what informs others of copyrighted materials. However, the copyright symbol is really only there to remind others of, something that might be copyrighted. So sometimes the symbol does not appear on actual copyrighted materials, and other times it can appear on something, on a material that is out of date and is no longer actually copyrighted. So you might be asking, okay, well, when is something no longer copyrighted? So, some previously copyrighted materials are in the public domain and are no longer copyrighted. So that doesn't mean that you shouldn't cite these works. You really, need to always cite them. But there are a lot of materials that are in the public domain. So some of the reasons that something would be in the public domain are, works where an author has been dead for 70 years. There might be some exempt materials like facts. So for instance, I think the one that they had in the textbook was, Jupiter is a planet, right? So that's a fact that wouldn't necessarily be copyrighted. Another example of an exempt work is a work that is created under certain conditions. So like works that are created by federal employees. Additionally, there are, some works that have been released to the public domain by authors. So those are not copyrighted, but they are, ones that are a part of the public domain, and you do still need to cite them. So there are a lot of ways to search for public domain and open resources, and many of them are linked in the book. I specifically want to draw your attention to some of the Creative Commons search engines here, as well as the image search engines. So, when using images and presentations and videos, I really suggest that you look them up either in the Creative Commons area or the image search in Google, and you can do an advanced image search, and you can find images that are for free and filter them to show you, the only ones that are available for reuse or modification or whatever it is. I'm going to go through that a little more thoroughly next week when we do some image editing stuff, but know that you can look these up really easily. You can also use the Creative Commons to look for music that you can reuse. And that might be important for this week if you decide to use music or sound effects or something within your video that you haven't created yourself. In a little while, I'm going to show you the YouTube audio library. You can use that as well. And if you plan to use music in the video you create for this week, I want you to make sure that you're looking up the song before you actually add it to your video to make sure that they will allow it. And I'll show you what that looks like. But if it's something that isn't allowed for reuse, they will, ban your video and you won't be able to add it, which will, negatively impact your grade. So the other thing that I wanted to bring your attention to is just, the additional lists of open educational resources that they have. And open educational resources are commonly referred to as OERs. So if you've heard those before, that's what they are, open educational resources. And I know a few of you are actually mentioned that you were interested in OERs and where you can find them and stuff like that when you submitted your student information form. So this chapter has just a wealth of resources for you to look through. And, using these and the links that were on the previous screen, you can find a variety of content, including textbooks, literature, images, courses, like whole courses, videos, and a lot more. So, there are a lot of sources that are actually available for free on the internet. So I actually suggest that you bookmark this chapter for future use when you're trying to find a resource. It doesn't hurt to look something up to see if you can get it for free before you commit to purchasing something. And so obviously not everything you can find for free on the internet legally, right? But there are a lot of materials, so I definitely suggest looking at this, especially, some of those books that are in the canon. So like, I'm blanking on like the Scarlet Letter, things like that. They may be, available for you to access from like Project Gutenberg, the whole text online. I know that can be, troublesome for those who kind of need like a hardback book. I'm one of those people. I have a hard time just reading fully on the internet and not like writing and stuff and, touching it and feeling it. So, but you can access a lot of these things for free online, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's look at MTA number 6, video production, and then I'll go over the discussion board post at the end of this video. So as always, MTAs are due on Sundays at 11:59 p.m., which means MTA number 6 is due Sunday, March 3rd at 11:59 p.m. So for MTA number 6, you are going to be creating a video and adding it to the YouTube playlist that you curated last week. The topic of your video should be the same as the topic of the playlist that you created. That said, you can take whatever approach you want into making this video. So here's some, I'll walk you through some of the possibilities of things that you can do in just a minute. But first I want to walk you through the basics for all of your videos, everyone's video, no matter what kind they make. So first, as I already said, your video must be on the same topic that you chose for your MTA 5 YouTube playlist. The second thing is that your video must be at least 3 minutes long and no longer than 10 minutes long. There are a lot of students in this class right now, so if everyone did a 10-minute video, oh man, it would be, I would be grading for a very, very long time. So at least 3 minutes long, but please no longer than 10. Okay, so the third thing is that your video must include at least 3 different types of media. And don't let this overwhelm you, because it'll be pretty easy to do with a lot of the programs that you're going to be, you might be using. So the media could be images, narration, text overlays, video within a video, scene transitions, sound effects, background music, whatever. There's a variety of things that you can do. And again, I'll walk you through this audio library here in just a second. But the final requirement is that your video must be uploaded to YouTube and added to your YouTube playlist from MTA number 5, and you can change the privacy settings so your video is unlisted if you want. So it's not public, it's going to automatically be public, but just don't make it private. Just like your playlist last week, just don't make it private because I won't be able to see it or assess it if it's private. Okay, so you might be wondering, where should I start and what should I do? So I recommend that you first decide really what you want the content of your video to be. So do you want the content, or do you want to create a video that really just summarizes all the things you learned about your topic from the playlist that you created? Or do you want to create a video of you applying something that you learned about your topic? For instance, maybe you decided to learn how to make a wreath, and the video that you create shows you actually making a wreath, right? That could be something. Or do you want to create a video that kind of analyzes one specific aspect of the topic that you chose? So you could kind of dig deep into one part of it. Or maybe you want to just do something, kind of different altogether. whatever you want to do, you need to kind of start there. Like, what do you want the content of your video to be? Then you need to try to figure out, okay, what kind of video do I want to make? And you actually might be thinking about this in conjunction with the content that you want to make, or the content of the video that you want to make. So, you know, do you want to make a screencast? You know, the screencast is like the video that you're watching right now. So it's recording my screen and I'm narrating it. Or, you know, do you want to make an animated video with animated characters and images? And we'll take a look at that here in a minute. Do you want to make a live action video? So that could be like a video of you, of someone else, or something doing something, right? I think we all are pretty familiar with creating these types of videos on our cell phones nowadays. Or, you know, do you want to make like a stop motion video, which is a video that's created from a bunch of pictures strung together. So if you've ever seen Wallace and Gromit, or Isles of Dogs, or James and the Giant Peach, the old school one, or even The Nightmare Before Christmas, those are all stop motion films. So you could create something like that, and it doesn't have to be kind of like claymation. It can also be, you know, still objects that you use to create those things. Or do you want to create a video that uses a combination of these video types? You could always do that. You know, make a screencast. I've done this previously in the semester, but I make a screencast where, you know, you see my face at one point, and then I kind of cut to my screen only. So there's a variety of things that you can do here, and any of them will be fine with me as long as you hit the, you know, the main basic requirements. So after you do these things, you'll start fully planning out the content of your video. And, you know, I recommend just jotting down a brief outline for yourself before you start developing. That way you can kind of have a plan of like where you want to start and then, you know, where you want to end up. So once you're ready to create your video, you're going to just start developing your content. So I recommend using the tutorials that are linked in the optional readings folders to assist you in using whatever program you decide to use, and I'll walk you through those in just a minute. But for those of you that are doing a screencast, developing your content might entail, you know, creating a slideshow like I'm using right now to guide your video. For those doing stop motion, that might mean gathering your materials and just starting to take the pictures that you need. Those that are doing some sort of live action, that might mean planning your scenes and again gathering materials that you might need for those scenes. And then my animated video makers, you know, will be working with the animation software to develop their content. So you'll start kind of doing some of that stuff. So when you're done creating your video, you're going to upload it to YouTube and add it to your playlist. Then you will download the MTA number 6 template and change last name to your last name. And then you will, you will hyperlink your playlist in MTA, in your MTA number 6 submission document, just like you did with the MTA number 5 one. And if you want to, you can simply just copy and paste the hyperlink you created for MTA number 5. Even though you just added a new video, it will automatically update. So I'll see that there's a new video in there. And you know, yes, I can go back to your MTA number 5 submission, but it'll be really easy for me to be able just to click right in your submission document and go right out to your YouTube playlist instead of having to go back and find your MTA number 5 submission. So thank you ahead of time for doing that. And then the other thing that you'll do is you'll answer these 2 reflection questions. And they just ask about your experiences creating the video and then how you might use some of the video production skills that you've developed in your, future career or personal life. So, basically once you're done with that, you'll end up just attaching the document to the Brightspace Dropbox. I'll walk you through that at the end. Okay, so there are a lot of optional readings for this week. So let's start with the YouTube help section. In this section, there are tutorials for uploading videos and changing the privacy settings. In last week's video, I kind of showed you where the video upload button was, which will take you to a screen that allows you to add your video and then change the privacy settings. So you can look at those tutorials, and what I really want to show you right now, and instead of that, is the YouTube video library. So let me exit out of here really quick. And we will go to the audio library. So YouTube, Oh, there we go. youtube.com/audio library. There it is. Okay, and so this is linked in the optional readings folder, but you can look at a bunch of free music here. So let's just pretend I'm going to look at this one, or this will actually just like let me, you're free to use this song in any of your videos. If you click on it, it'll tell you those types of things. And you can go ahead and download them and you can add them to your video in that way. You can do the same here with sound effects. So you can actually search the sound effects too and just find a variety of them. But if you notice up here, it says have different music in your video, check its copyright policies. So you can also do this, and you can kind of find some popular music here and see if you're allowed to use it. So I'm just going to show you this one really quick. So if you wanted to use Dr. Dre the next episode, you would find out this song is not available for use in your YouTube videos. If you use this song, your video may be blocked or muted, so that would be bad. One that I saw earlier that is available for use was Uptown Funk. So if I were to type that in here, it will search. And if I hit this drop down, it says if you're using this song, it's viewable worldwide. So there might be some limitations there. Advertising ads can appear, and kind of related to covering if you were actually performing something. But it says copyright owners change their policies, or can change their policies or take action on your video if it's, that differs from whatever is described here. So you could potentially use this one. Let me find, I can't remember if this one has different settings. So if I wanted to use Leonard Skinner, Simple Man, I can come and look at this. It's not available for YouTube. Let's see, what about this one? Not available. Okay, let me try to think of another one. Oh man, I'm blanking on songs, and the first one, and I'm embarrassed to type this in, but Party in the USA, that just popped in my head for some reason. So if I'm, did it search? There we go. Party in the USA, Miley Cyrus. So here's an interesting one. Okay, so playback. It's blocked in 248 countries. So let's see. If it's blocked in the United States, that would be bad, so I would check that. It just says, yep, it does say United States. So that's one where you would not be able to use it here, right? So make sure to check that out if you're using music, and you'll notice that the free ones will allow you to actually download them. These other ones, that maybe you're allowed to use, you will have to, just have them on your own already. Okay, so let's go back to the slides here. Okay, so the next section of optional readings is really for video production and editing. And in parentheses for each link, I've noted whether the software is for Macs, Windows PCs, smartphones, tablets, or are web-based. So, for instance, the first two I have arrows towards here are iMovie and QuickTime, and these are only for Macs. So you'd only use the software if you have a Mac. I recommend using iMovie if you've had experience creating and editing videos before. That said, you can definitely use iMovie if you've never done this before. Just know that the tutorial should really be the first place that you start. And it may take a little time for you to get used to all of the things that you can do and how you're supposed to do them. Additionally, iMovie is really a program where you import your video files and then you edit them there. So you would do the recording of them elsewhere. QuickTime, on the other hand, is a program that will allow you to record screencasts like this one, or even videos where you're just recording yourself. And this is actually the program that I'm using right now to record this video, and it's the one that I use every week. Okay, so the next one, this one is Movie Maker, and it's for Windows PCs, or PCs that run Windows, and it's similar to iMovie in that it'll let you do some of the advanced features and effects. Again, you'll need to import video files to work within Movie Maker. The next four here that I have arrows to are web-based, and these are Screencastify, Movely, the YouTube Editor, and Adobe Spark. So this means that you can use them on any type of device, and they each do a little something different, so I'm going to go through each of them. The YouTube editor allows you to add text and audio to your video, right in YouTube. And basically you'll upload the video to YouTube and use the editor to make changes to it. So you can, trim your videos, you can combine multiple videos together in the editor. It's pretty simple to use, but it might not include some of the advanced features that other programs have. So Screencastify allows you to record screencasts like this one, and you can also embed your video camera in the corner as you share your screen, so it would share your screen and your video at the same time. It'll record your entire desktop or just a tab in your web browser. I really like this one because it integrates with Google Chrome, so you need the Chrome web browser to use it, and it saves to your Google Drive, which is nice, so it can't ever really get lost. The other thing that I like about it is that you can upload your video straight to YouTube. So the software allows you to record up to 50 10-minute videos for free each month. And it will include a Screencastify watermark on your video, but that's totally fine with me. Okay, Movely, and I'm going to show you this in just a second. It's pretty cool. I haven't gotten a chance to use it all that much, but it basically allows you to create animated videos. So I'll walk you through this here in just a second, but I recommend signing up for a free student account using your .edu email. And after you create your video using this web-based software, you're going to need to download it to your computer and then upload it to YouTube. So it doesn't share directly to YouTube. And like Screencastify, it's going to include a watermark with the Movely logo on it, which is fine with me. And so let me just show you quickly what this looks like. Okay, so I'll just open up a new tab here, and I just want to show you how to make the account if you want to use this, and then I will show you an example thing that you can make, here on Movely. So basically, when you get here, I would recommend going to Pricing, Education Plans, and then EDU Free, and click Start Now. And then you will create an account, and what you need to do is don't use one of these things to sign in with social media. Actually type in your name here and your Oklahoma State email, and then register. It'll probably make you activate it, the account, but go ahead and do it that way, because then you get the access to the free accounts. So one thing that you will need to do with this, and so I'll just kind of show you in my account when I log in, is you will have to, after you create your video, you will have to download it, and then you upload it to YouTube. So you can't directly share it to YouTube. So, all right, so I was creating a kind of a sample one, and when I am ready, see, you can't really do anything but publish it to the Movely gallery. So what you do is you basically download it as a video file, and you would click this, and then it's kind of renders for a little while. You can just choose standard quality, whatever quality you want, but standard quality I think is free, and then it will basically email you when it's done or ready to download, and I'll send you a link, and then you download it, and that's what you upload to YouTube. But this allows you to kind of add in some animation with, like whiteboard drawings, or moving hands, or whatever it is that you want. So that's one possibility for that. So the next one here is Adobe Spark. And this is another one where you're going to want to use your Oklahoma State email address to log in, and you can actually use your O key to log in with this. So I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. This one's pretty cool because it allows you to choose from different templates if you want to, and you kind of create some sort of interactive presentation, and you can include text, audio, video, images. So let me just show you quickly how I suggest you create your account with this. So Adobe Spark, I'm just gonna Google it that way. Okay, so when I'm here, basically what you wanna do is start now for free. Then you will just log in with your school account. So do this over here. You'll type in your Oklahoma State email, and then it'll probably do this for you. And so you'll choose enterprise ID, so company or school account. And this is what's going to take you right to your Okie account to log in. So here it is. I hit login and I am ready to go. So again, I can choose from different templates, add all sorts of things. This was one of my test ones that I did. And when you're done with the video, when you're done making it, basically what you end up doing is you download it, kind of like Movely. You download it to your computer and then you upload that to YouTube. So you can't share it directly to YouTube. Okay. So last but not least is the stop motion videos. So there's this free app, and it's Stop Motion Studio app, and it's for iPhone, iPad, or Android devices. So you can get it on the Google Play Store. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool app. It allows you to take all of your pictures and order them right in the app, and you can do some image editing in the app, like cropping photos, erasing unwanted parts, and changing the color. You can also add and record audio within the app. They have some things that you can select from in terms of audio. You can choose from different themes and background images and add text. And when you're all done with your pictures, applying different colors and themes, adjusting the timing or the length that you want each picture to appear, and doing all of your editing in general, you can publish your video directly to YouTube. So this tutorial here is pretty great, but there's also a manual that's within the app that can provide some really great step-by-step instructions on how to do a variety of things. So when you're all done creating your video, uploading it to YouTube, and adding it to your YouTube playlist, basically you're gonna just, hyperlink your playlist in the MTA6 document and complete the 2 reflection questions before submitting the document in the Brightspace Dropbox. So just don't forget that you need to replace last name on the MTA6 template with your actual last name. So let's take a really quick look at the week 7 discussion post before I let you go. So first you're going to answer a few questions about your experiences making the MTA 5 playlist that you made from last week. And then you're going to just discuss what type of video you think you'll make and what type of software you think you'll use to do it. So you have a few things left to do this week, and that's your discussion board post, which is due Wednesday by 11:59 p.m., the discussion board responses, which are due Sunday by 11:59 p.m., and MTA 6, which is due Sunday by 11:59 p.m. I definitely recommend that you don't wait to create your video until Sunday night. So if you have any questions or need any assistance, feel free to get in touch with me. I'd be happy to, do a Zoom video chat with you if you need some help, or, the tutorials are not working for you, or I'd be happy to meet with you face-to-face in my office. So just, be in touch with me if you need me. I think that's all for now. So happy working this week, and let me know if you need anything.